Hey everyone, welcome back to another explainer. Before we dive in, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on our science deep dives. Today we're unpacking something that has literally taken over fitness forums, bodybuilding communities, and basically your entire social media feed. It's a trending recovery peptide called BPC-157. People are out there calling it an absolute miracle cure for injuries, but is it actually? So that's the central question we're tackling today. Bodybuilders, elite athletes, and biohackers are swearing by BPC-157. They're injecting it to heal torn muscles, fixed wrecked joints, the whole shebang. But does it actually work? Is this compound the ultimate holy grail of tissue repair we've been waiting for? Or are we just slipping at another massive case of out-of-control online hype? But let's look at the actual data. Section 1. The BPC-177 healing hype. Social media's favorite miracle peptide. Okay, let's dive into this by understanding the massive wave of hype propelling this compound. If you spend any time at all in fitness circles, you have definitely heard loud, aggressive endorsements about these injectable recovery tools. Just look at this quote from Harvard Health. It perfectly captures what's going on right now. These compounds are circulating heavily online, completely outside of standard medical oversight. Influencers are touting them as rapid healing magic bullets for everything from a little joint pain to severe muscle tears. And it is creating a huge demand. But here's where things get tricky. Because it totally lacks official approval for human use, users are acquiring BPC-157 through informal, unregulated back channels. You'll usually see it sold online, tucked inside a legal gray area labeled as research chemicals, or stamped with for research purposes only. This sets up a really fascinating and frankly pretty concerning hype versus reality situation that we absolutely need to investigate. Section 2. How it supposedly works. The preclinical promise. So transitioning from the online buzz, what is the actual biology here? Like what makes this compound so absolutely fascinating to researchers in the first place? Well, here's the exact definition. BPC-157 is a stable gastric pentadecapeptide. Now, I find this genuinely amazing. BPC actually stands for Body Protection Compound, and it was originally discovered right inside human gastric juice. Yeah, our own stomach acid. It was isolated because of its incredible cytoprotective properties, which basically means it helps protect and heal cells in the highly acidic, incredibly harsh environment of the gut. Let's move to how this builds on a cellular level. Biologically, this happens in 3 key steps. First, it upregulates specific receptors like VEGR2. Second, it promotes angiogenesis, which is really just a fancy scientific word for the formation of new blood vessels. And obviously, more blood means more nutrients and oxygen getting delivered straight to an injured area. And third, it accelerates cell survival and migration. Together, these steps basically act like jumper cables to jumpstart the body's natural repair mechanics. And honestly, the results in the lab are seriously impressive. Studies documented in the Journal of Orthopedic Research show that BPC-157 can literally accelerate the healing of completely severed Achilles tendons. We're talking tendon to bone repair, muscle healing, ligament repair, you name it. But, and this is a massive but, these musculoskeletal healing results are specifically documented in animal models. We're primarily talking about rats here. Section 3, Missing Human Clinical Data. The Great Divide. So the crucial point is we have to cross this great divide from really promising animal science to the hard, messy reality of human application. Look at this stark contrast. On one hand, preclinical animal studies show an incredibly clean profile. We're talking low toxicity and amazing tendon repair. But on the other hand, look at the human data. 0. There are absolutely 0 published phase 3 clinical trials confirming the safety or efficacy of BPC-157 in humans. The bridge between safely healing a rat and safely healing a 220-pound human bodybuilder, it simply hasn't been built yet. Section 4. Banned by FDA and WADA. The regulatory hammer. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world consequences of that missing data. Because of this glaring lack of human trials, major global health and sports organizations have brought down the regulatory hammer hard. You can see this universal pushback from regulatory bodies around the world. The FDA in the US, not approved and actually flagged to be totally excluded from compounding pharmacies due to safety concerns. The EMA in Europe, not approved. Brazil's Anvisa, completely unregistered. It is globally recognized as an experimental, unapproved substance for human therapeutic use. Now, if you're a competing athlete, you need to pay very close attention to this. The World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, actively monitors and strictly prohibits BPC-157. They classify it as an unapproved growth factor under their S0 and S2 categories. It is strictly banned both in and out of competition, period. If you get drug tested, using this peptide will absolutely result in serious doping sanctions and a banned career. Section 5. Known safety and risks. What we don't know can hurt us. Let's talk about the specific dangers. When you're dealing with unapproved substances, the absolute biggest health risk right now is the sheer amount of unknown variables we are blindly putting into our bodies. Anecdotally, users online report a few common, seemingly mild side effects. Things like discomfort, mild redness or hematoma at the injection site, maybe some transient fatigue during the first week, mild nausea, especially if you're taking it orally on an empty stomach, and occasional mild headaches. Now, while those might sound manageable, you have to remember that these completely lack long-term, peer-reviewed study in human populations. We are literally just guessing. But unfortunately, there are much darker theoretical risks we need to address. Remember angiogenesis from earlier, the creation of new blood vessels? Well, in theory, unchecked angiogenesis could potentially feed pre-existing tumors or neoplasms, helping them grow rapidly. That's a scary thought. Furthermore, buying unregulated products from the black market or some sketchy website carries severe, immediate risks of contamination, wildly incorrect dosing, or even injecting bacterial endotoxins directly into your bloodstream. Section 6. Important medical disclaimers. Information, not prescription. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it is arguably the most crucial point of our entire explainer. Because of all these risks, we need to pause for a very clear medical disclaimer. This explainer is strictly of an informative nature based purely on a review of current scientific articles and literature. It is absolutely not medical advice. You should never ever utilize any substance, especially unapproved experimental peptides, without the direct supervision and prescription of a qualified medical doctor. Seriously, do not gamble with your health. Which brings us to our final provocative thought. Is the gamble on an unregulated, unproven miracle truly worth the unknown long-term risks to your body? It's a harsh reality check. Everyone trusting trending online cures needs to face this before they ever think about injecting a research chemical. Now listen up. If you actually want to optimize your recovery, build real muscle, and see results without relying on sketchy, risky black market trends, you have to check out my comprehensive ebook linked right down in the description below. For just $19.99, you get a rock-solid, completely science-backed foundation to protect your body and maximize your gains the right way. Your health is worth that investment. Stop guessing and grab the ebook right now for just $19.99. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like this explainer, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.